This video is sponsored by Card Kingdom. You can visit their store by using my referral link in the description below. So Strixhaven Draft is now on Arena, if you didn't know. It's one of my favorite limited formats from the recent past, so gonna record a draft of the format. I love Learn Lesson. I think the format has viable aggro decks, mid-range, and control decks. You know, there's some color imbalance, but that always happens. I mean, it's hard to be perfect. It's a great format, one of the greatest in the Arena era for sure. Maybe I'm trying to think. You know, I have a tier list that I've talked about on Needs and Notes. I think we can turn off our stats for a different format, I suppose. I think I definitely have Dominaria, original Dominaria, ahead of it. And maybe Kaldheim, maybe Eldraine. But those are, yeah, I mean, those are the only ones that those are all in the conversation, I think, for best limited format of the Arena era. Okay. So, we got a pretty good rare. You know, both sides of it are quite strong. If you cast Shale on 2, it just makes all your creatures better the rest of the game. And if you cast Embrose later in the game, that's good too. The nice thing is, we don't even have to end up in white-black, and this is a good card, because as long as we can cast 1/2, we don't really care. Other really good cards in the pack are Mortality Spear. And, I mean, Elemental Summoning is this, you know, if you haven't played with this before, this is a card that doesn't look like it would be that great. But because it's a lesson, it's like card advantage that's tacked onto all your cards with Learn. And it's actually a huge deal to just, you know, play first day of class, you know, get some small effect, and then also grab a 5-mana 4/4 that you get to cast later. But yeah, we're going to take Shale. Black-White is an aggro deck in the format, so we'll see whether or not that's where we actually end up. One sad thing about this format is Frost Trickster, while good, it's not quite as good in this format. This sort of, you know, 3-mana 2/2 that freezes something isn't as good in this format as it is in Mini. Another Mortality Spear. I don't hate the idea of taking that. Eager First Year is a nice aggro card. We have another lesson here, and you do want to value lessons highly. We've also got Pop Quiz. Thing is, Blue-White and Blue-Black are not decks in this format. There's only 5 really well-supported color pairs, so that is something to keep in mind. That doesn't mean, excuse me, we shouldn't take Pop Quiz, but it is something to keep in mind. I think I'm going to grab Mortality Spear. I do like the Pass color as well, usually on a Splash or something, but yeah, let's take the Spear. All right, Eliminate is a nice removal spell. Kelpie Guide is good if you end up in blue-green especially. Professor of Zoomancy is great. Pest Summoning, another lesson that's great. I'm sort of leaning towards Professor. Master Symmetrist is pretty good too, as is, like I said, Eliminate. Professor is quite nice. Do I like it more than Eliminate and Pest Summoning? I think so. Yeah, cards that say Learn and Lesson on them are all better than they look. So we may only be playing the Embrose half, but that's still a pretty good card. Okay, so this is surprisingly castable in this format, and that's one of the things that I think makes this format great, is there's a legit... both blue-red and blue-green have very real ramp elements in them, and sometimes you play all 3 together, and you can cast this bad boy. We're not really headed in that direction, but that is a thing. Honor Troll is pretty solid. Mage Hunter's Onslaught and Spectre of the Fens are pretty good too. These lands are nice to pick up. This is surprisingly clunky. You know, being sorcery speed. Definitely not amazing. Probably still a little better than the Spectre, though I do like the Spectre. You know, black-green is sort of about life gain, by the way, like you see on Honor Troll, but it's not entirely. Okay, so this is a pretty late Professor of Symbology. It is one of the best cards with Learn in the set, and I think it's probably what we're going to take. The pack also has Expanded Anatomy, one of the best lessons in the set, but this is just really good. Even though Mage Duel and Professor of Zoomancy are both very good green cards, I think this is the best card in the pack. It's one of the best uncommons in the set. It's basically a 2-mana 2/1 that draws you a card when it enters the battlefield, except the card you draw is, you know, you're getting it out of a toolbox. So, like, the ceiling for the card is usually lower, but the floor is way higher than it would be on just drawing a card. So, we're going to take the Professor, and maybe we end up in white. All right, great lesson here that can help us splash in environmental sciences. You know, it, you know, very effectively allows you to fix, turns every card in your deck that says Learn on it into a source of fixing. Yeah, I mean, I think that's what we take. You know, it's a big bummer, you know, when this set came out, you know, because of my history background and stuff, I had a preview card from the set because the red-white, I can't even remember what they're called off the top of my head, but they're historians. You know, I have Illustrious Historian, Reconstruct History. They're historians and architects, or archaeologists rather, and I got to preview a card. And it wasn't this one, but it was another card that's not very good. That is sort of part of that cycle. Okay, Rise of Extus is great. You know, this is an expensive sorcery, but the fact that it learns on top of it is just amazing. And it's what we're going to grab. Start from scratch, not a bad lesson. We're going to take the Rise. So right now, I mean, we could be a black-white deck that splashes Mortality Spear. We already have enough fixing to make that work. I think we probably take Leech Fanatic. Village Rites and Mage Hunter, okay, but I think the Fanatic is a nice 2-drop. Black-white, like I said, it's mostly an aggro deck, so there's not really anything good in this pack. This is a little better than it looks. I'm going to grab an Archway Commons. It can fix our mana more if we decide we need that. Dusk Mage isn't great, but Spirit Summoning is great for our Wish board, or Lesson board, I guess it is. Nice. We get a Spectre back. And we will grab a Quandrix Campus for fixing. Not that it helps us right now. First pack went pretty well. Like, I thought we were going to go in a different direction maybe when I picked up that Professor, but apart from that, I mean, black-white, we got some really good cards, some of them very late. Like, yeah, I mean, I think it helps, you know, when these new formats come back that people haven't played before. Yeah, I mean, Agonizing Remorse is playable. Learn Lesson, I think, is one of the hardest things to wrap your head around. Like, nobody predicted it would be as good as it was. Like in the set review before this set came out. And so if you haven't really looked into the set that much, you probably don't look at those cards and think, wow, that Professor of Symbology is insane, or Rise of Extus is insane, but they are. I mean, they are incredibly powerful cards. And being able to cast either side of this is going to be nice, too. I mean, that's how we started the draft. And for a while, it looked like maybe Embrose would be the only option, but we're going to be able to cast Shale, too, it looks like. So, yeah, right now we've got an Environmental Sciences and a Spirit Summoning in our lesson board, and we have 2 cards with Learn. Oh, this is like the strongest card in the set. And, you know, I'm not sure how many times I actually got to play with it back, you know, when this set was new. It is insane. I mean, I think this is one that's obviously insane, because even if it weren't in your sideboard, paying 7 and getting a 2/1 with flying, a 3/2, and a 4/4 would be amazing in Limited. But what's even crazier is you almost start with this in your opening hand every game. So except it's better than that, because you don't have to get it until you have the mana to pay for it. So it doesn't sit around in your hand forever. So very excited to get Mascot Exhibition. Very excited about that one. Ooh, Combat Professor is very good. Hunt for Specimens. Another very good learn card. And we do want to value learn perhaps even more now that we got the best lesson, the best card in the set, basically. So I'm trying to decide if I want Hunt over Combat Professor. I think we'd probably still take the Professor. Its ability to give +1/+0 and Vigilance to a creature every turn, including itself, is very good. And I think we'll pick up Lessons. Unfortunately, Fracture's not great. So I'm not super interested in it, even though it's in our colors. Revitalize is passable. We've got another Rise of Exodus. We've also got Expanded Anatomy, another very good lesson. Another lesson that, on the surface, you'd be like, is that even a good card? And I'd say, you know, if I was playing it in my deck, no. But when I can grab it out of my sideboard in situations where it's good, absolutely. I don't love having more than one Rise just because mana. So I think we're probably going to grab Expanded Anatomy here. Pillar Drop Rescuer is not bad, but... Okay, so Return Past Color is definitely something we could consider splashing. I may just take Lorehold Pledge Mage, though. It's a 3-mana 2/2 with First Strike that gets +1/+0 when we cast instants or sorceries. Yeah, I think we go Pledge Mage here. It's obviously easier to cast if you're in red-white than it is if you're in black-white, but we can still cast it. Ooh. So this lets us cast an instant or sorcery at random from our graveyard every turn. That's pretty darn good. There's also a Lash of Malice, which is a great removal spell. Arrogant Poet and Silver Quill Pledge Mage are also nice, given where we're headed. You know, right now we don't have that many spells, but we have enough that I think we grab this. And I think we're probably leaning a little more towards splashing red than we are black now. Or green, rather. Okay, so Guiding Voice is really, really good. Another card that doesn't look like much on the surface, but very powerful because of Learn. Lumimancer can be nice if you're spell heavy enough. This is a land that would help us, but I think Guiding Voice is good enough for us to grab it. Also does +1/+1 counter things. That's sort of the black-white sub-theme. Yeah, if that 6-mana 4/2 flyer that lets us return a thing from our graveyard to our hand wheels, then red is definitely where we're going to lean. There's a Shock. Lorehold Campus, which helps us with our Scroll Wielder. Another Pillar Drop Rescuer. I think we probably just take Campus, though. It does feel a little like our colors are getting cut on us a bit. And it is a feeling, you know, you end up in this format because you actually take cards you put in your sideboard, which is one of the things that I think is really interesting about this format. You do end up with sometimes fewer playables than you might expect. So another good lesson is here. There's a solid 1-drop, but I think I just grab a lesson. This one lets us exile an on-land permanent and replace it with a 3/2. Silver Quill Campus is obviously what we want to do. Duress is kind of okay in this format. There's so many spells that it's surprisingly good. I think we take Silver Quill Campus. It's still not great, Duress, I should note, but it is playable, which is more than I can say for most formats. Okay, Campus Guide, a little 2-drop that can set up our mana a bit. This is a pretty late Master Symmetrist. Doesn't look like we're going to get the wheel on... All right, now we'll finally take a Pillar Drop Rescuer on the 6-mana 4/2 flyer. I wish in this format they would let me... Oh, or we will. Okay, now we have 2 very good reasons to splash red, and we'll do it. I mean, between the Lorehold Campus and our environmental sciences in our sideboard, we're already there, like I said. Unfortunately, these aren't really worth splashing. Yeah, red-white is the worst color combination in the set, mostly because its synergy didn't really get there. Here's what my preview card was. Lorehold Excavation, which does have a really neat design, and I was really excited in this format because red-white looked so different than usual. It's a graveyard deck, of all things, but it's not really. It's mostly just an aggro deck, so these cards just end up being weird. We have Silver Quill Apprentice, which is great. I think it's what we take. Again, you know, maybe I'd pick up another Rise if it wheels, but there's not high demand for us to grab removal or cards with Learn right now. I wouldn't hate another Spirit Summoning for our lesson board, but we'll grab Silver Quill Apprentice here. All right, so this is a pretty sweet card, not one we can play. Study Break is pretty nice. Intro to Prophecy is not currently a lesson we have, but I'd probably just grab another Professor. It's such a good common, you know, makes a lot of your boards really good. Yeah, so let's go ahead and take the Professor. Pilgrim of the Ages isn't bad. Oh, we've also got a Silencer, though. It's not, like, incredible in Limited, mostly because you can't always name the right thing, but in this format, it's surprisingly useful because of lessons, because when your opponent grabs one out of their sideboard, you know what it is. So it's a lot of it is just that it's a 2-mana 3/2, but we could use a 2-mana 3/2 with upside. I do like the Pilgrim. Bookworm, another sweet thing you can ramp into with the format, by the way. Pest Summoning is a really good lesson we don't have, but I think we like Silencer a little bit more than the other options here. I've already got a Past Caller. Don't really want more than one. All right, here I think we'll grab a Study Break. This is black-white, but it's kind of a bummer. It's not... It doesn't really do enough. We do have a Lash of Malice, though, which is great. It's a cheap spell, triggers all of our Magecraft, and kills things. So, Pledge Mage is surprisingly good. Just this 5/5 that gains you some life sometimes. The Witherbloom one, that is. I don't think we have enough spells to get wacky with the Lumimancer, unfortunately. So, I think we're interested in one of these. I could probably use another 5-drop. Maybe more than I could use. I probably need the 3-drop a little bit more, actually. Another Hunt for Specimens is probably the pickup here. We didn't actually take one earlier, did we? So yeah, it's definitely what we pick up. Plumb the Forbidden is sweet if you have enough sacrificable things. The Trudge isn't bad if you have enough life gain. So it's better in black-green. We do have a little bit of life gain, but just because of pests mostly. I'd rather have the Hunt, though. So Witherbloom Campus doesn't really help us with anything. So, you know, sometimes you can pick these up and they're kind of free and you have an off-color... Well, we'd have Mortality Spear and I don't really want anything else here. The Trudge isn't terrible, though, actually. Yeah, I'll take the Trudge. Okay, Spirit Summoning, sure. Another Study Break or a Campus. Probably another Study Break. So we have lots of spells in the end for our Scroll Wielder. We'd have to pay for the spells it copies, but that's okay. All right, we'll grab a Pilgrim now over a Campus. And a Village Rites. Don't think we have enough pests to really be into Village Rites, but like the look of our Learn board. What I was trying to say, I think I interrupted myself, but they should let you just, like, have two separate sideboards in this limited format, so you don't have to look at all these cards you don't actually care about in your sideboard, you know? But they don't. Two pretty powerful red cards and a bunch of good black and white cards. Seems pretty good. I mean, our main thing, we're not that synergistic. We're mostly just like, I think we're going to grind out a lot of value with Lesson and Learn, frankly. Like, our deck looks really adept at doing that. And we have lots of good lessons. Professor's Warning isn't unplayable, but I kind of don't think we want it. All right. So we do need to cut one card. We really only need to run one mountain. Do I want to run Archway Commons? Probably not. Yeah, and then one more card to cut still. I don't hate the Remorse. It could be what gets cut, though. Do I have enough ways to gain life to be interested in the Trudge? We've got our Hunt for Specimens. That might pretty much be it, and if that's the case, this does give our instants and sorceries lifelink, but I don't think we have any that actually take advantage, so it's probably the Trudge that gets cut. And we do have Spectre of the Fens, but yeah. Okay, I think this is our deck. You know, every deck in the format has a bunch of spell synergy because Magecraft is like, that's like the big thing in the set. It's about a school of mages, so everyone's into magic. So we've got that going on. All right, looks like a pretty good deck in this format to me. I mean, my favorite deck in the format is blue-red or blue-green or some combination thereof because it's like a crazy ramp deck, the likes of which we don't see that often. I guess we've seen it. We saw it in Dominaria United, like a similar sort of deck. But I feel like this one's even crazier. You know, playing 8 mana instants and sorceries is kind of hilarious and limited. Okay, we do have a bit of a clunky hand here. I'm going to keep it, but we do kind of need to draw something to play early. This isn't a crazy fast format for the most part, so that's good, but we'd still like something to play early. We did actually need black mana, so I guess that's pretty good. Still not playing anything yet. I mean, I could cast Guiding Voice to put a counter on their creature just to learn, but I don't think that's where I am right now. Yeah, still nothing. Next turn we'll finally play something. Luckily our opponent hasn't punished us too much. Could be holding on to counter magic. Got their own Spectre of the Fens. So I'm gonna play Combat Professor. It can actually start rumbling next turn. So yeah. You know, if it's still alive. Spectre of the Fens is good. That card's really good. So X4, that means I get to bounce our creature, make a 4/4. Ugh. Yeah, that's not so good for us. So I think we still replay the Professor, and then we're going to Guiding Voice on it. Which of our mini lessons do we want? Mascot Exhibition? We don't have... I guess we could wait to get Mascot Exhibition until we cast our Rise of Extus. So maybe it's better to just make a body. Yeah, next turn I can Rise of Extus and get Mascot Exhibition, which is really strong. So yeah, let's grab Spirit Summoning for later. Hopefully they don't have too many more super powerful. They're playing blue-black, which is not really a supported color pair. But, you know, if you get bombs in those colors... Ooh, they've got their own Rise of Extus. They're going to hit us for 7. Are they going to grab their own Mascot Exhibition? That would not be a good start for us. They just have necrotic fumes. That's not nearly as bad. But gosh, we may have to go a little slower here. Maybe. I kill their 4/4 and I grab Mascot Exhibition. I mean, that's not terrible. The problem I'm going to have is that this can still drain life. And we'll be dead from it before too long. But if I don't... It's not like we have that good of other options, because I can only cast one creature here anyway, so I may as well go with Rise of Extus. Do I go down to 3 and take out the Spectre? I think maybe that's best. I mean, none of the options are good, but the Spectre gives them enough reach that even after we cast Mascot Exhibition, they might be able to beat us. Don't know. I mean, I think, you know, this is a game where clearly if we'd gotten our shields up early, we would have had a chance. But we just didn't do it. So, here we are. Ooh, Dreamstrix is really good. Okay, so this is interesting. I have some other options here in terms of what I do other than casting Mascot Exhibition, because I could try to get shields up with multiple bodies now. I could play Professor. I could play Professor and Spirit Summoning. I mean, I guess just throwing 3 bodies out there is best. Although, here's a problem. If I only have 1 flyer, they can just kill it with Necrotic Fumes and then kill us. And that is going to be the case. So, I think we actually have to deal with that Dreamstrix. So let's play our Professor of Symbology. Get Expanded Anatomy. Cast it on Dreamstrix to kill it. I guess we're still going to be dead, because unless I haven't played a land, but I think I have. Yeah. We're still dead, because they can just kill the Professor with Necrotic Fumes and attack for 4. So yeah, we didn't get any of our early drops in that game, so there wasn't anything we could do, really, to save ourselves. I think our deck has a reasonable number of 2-drops. We just didn't see them. Alright, so see, this hand has 2 drops in it. That's a much different world than what we just experienced. Blue-green is usually a ramp deck. I think I'm gonna play Silverquill Apprentice here. Yeah. Do get countered. That is, you know, I kind of forgot this card exists. If I thought about Reject, so they're legit probably. If I'd thought about Reject, Hunt for Specimens obviously is the way better play because I can't counter it. Alright, so let's Hunt for Specimens. Do we want environmental sciences in this situation because we don't have as much mana as we would like? Grabbing a mountain is pretty good. Helps us cast these and make sure we can cast our other stuff later. So yeah, let's grab the sciences. I can cast Guiding Voice right now too, and I think I'm just going to do that as well. And grab Spirit Summoning. Can't cast it right now either, but we'll be able to shortly. But yeah, you can ramp into some silly things in this format. Yeah, and they're, you know, cultivates and cultivators. That's funny. Are nuts for getting your mana up quickly. All right, so yeah, I think we cast Environmental Sciences and grab a mountain. I think we want to tap our mana that way so we can leave up Study Break. And we'll pass our turn. We're going to use Study Break. Don't hate them using their mana on their turn to draw a card there. So I guess I'm supposed to grab Mascot Exhibition because right now I don't have another card with Learn in my hand. The only thing is we don't have removal either, but I think we'll grab the Exhibition. Okay. Well, I think we play Pilgrim of the Ages, grab a Plains. Yeah, Pilgrim of the Ages, grab a Plains, play a Plains. We're going to Agonizing Remorse them and hopefully hit something in their hand that is a crazy ramp payoff. Yeah, it's not that crazy, but I don't hate hitting it. And having the info is good. Yeah, I think I'm going to attack. I'm not planning. I guess it can block the Soothsayer, but big deal. We'll attack them. So, next turn, I guess we need a Plains or a Mountain, and then we could play both Spirit Summoning and Lorehold Pledge Mage. That would be good. Yeah, that's a pretty nice thing. You can attack us for 5 here. I think I probably take it. Nice. Yeah. So, Rise of Extus. Hit. I suppose the 3/4. Yeah. And exile Serpentine Curve. Grab. Do we want Anatomy or Reduce? I guess Reduce gives us an answer to basically anything. Anatomy would make one of our creatures more of a problem, but I think we grab Reduce. And now we're going to pass our turn. Do I want to double block this? I mean, I can get my Pilgrim back. costs 6, but I can do it. I probably just take the 3. Okay. So... let's play Campus Guide, which will set us up to play the Exhibition next turn. They may be holding on to Counter Magic, and that's why they're sort of doing what they're doing. And we want to grab a plane so we can cast these double-colored cards easier. I guess Pledge Mage makes pretty good sense. Although Spirit Summoning can just straight up trade for that. Yeah. Let's go with Spirit Summoning. So yeah, they can scry and loot right now, which is sure to improve their card quality. If they just keep passing, I may have to play around Counter Magic. I guess we'll see what happens. They know we're about to draw our 7th land for our Exhibition. The good news is we do have the 1 card in our deck that can get it out of the graveyard. Ooh, yeah, Helix is good. Just gets rid of that token, which is sad for me. So yeah, I think we double block the 3/3 now. These two. Alright, so I think we're going to go for it on the Exhibition now. They do have Memory Lapse. It's sort of a temporary counterspell. So we draw it again next turn. But they did have it. Now we know they're out of gas, though. Although they could loot. Alright, let's try this again. Yeah, so they can scry and then loot and hope they hit something that can stop this. That will mean I can attack with my Pest. And I probably will. Oh, well, if they loot, I can attack with my Pest. Nice. Yeah, that's pretty good. Yeah, reduced to memory isn't particularly useful against what they've got right now. Because everything's sort of small, but I guess that's a good problem to have. So yeah, we're just going to swing with all of these tokens. So we'll drop them to 8, theoretically. Playing both these Pledge Mages is going to be pretty good. Arcane, something or other. Which will shrink my creature and let them learn. Yeah, Fractal Summoning isn't that scary when we have reduced memory in our hand. So if they play this as a huge fractal, we kill it. These all both become 3/2s, and we just swing out again. Is pretty much the game plan. They do have first strike, so not what you wanted to do. This time, Mascot Exhibition did what it was supposed to do. Yeah, they have to block as much as they possibly can and lose their whole board, basically. They do kill a couple of our things. Then we add Leech Fanatic to the mix. Alright. That's more like it. All right, looks pretty solid. We haven't drawn our red cards at all, have we? Like our cards that always require red mana we haven't drawn. We've drawn like the red-white hybrid cards. So they might play something we can just kill with Lash. And if they don't, they don't. Leech Fanatic or Silver Quill Apprentice? I think Leech Fanatic. The Apprentice, I could play it next turn and then kill something they played. Or, you know, not. Yeah, so we're just going to attack here with Leech Fanatic. Let's see if they have counter magic. I think they do. It is pretty good in this format. A lot of it is, anyway. I don't think Whirlwind Denial's that good, but, you know, Memory Lapse is quite good. Yeah, we're up against Ramp again. Which is not a matchup I love. But we did manage to make it out last time. Oh, hey, there's you. I think I just play Combat Professor here still. I could play either side of this. And a 4/4, I mean, that's legit. And it can put counters on things. Maybe getting that party started is just better. I mean, playing it as for 2 isn't bad either, but a 4/4 is certainly a more relevant creature on this board. Yeah. Let's go that route. I think it's dead anyway, yeah. Pigment Storm. It's gonna kill it. Either way. But what's nice is I can play Pillar Drop Rescuer here. And get it back. Because the front side is 2 mana. I've been holding on to my mountain for no real reason. Ooh, Retriever Phoenix is nasty. So it learns when it enters the battlefield, and then when it's in your graveyard and you learn, you get it back. Just crazy. We can kill it, but like what I'm saying is it's probably not staying dead. Interesting. I mean, I feel fine about a double block here. Okay. I guess I'm going to cast Lash of Malice. Yeah, let's lash it out of our way. Play Combat Professor. Buff this. Attack for 3. Got a lot of juice left in their hand. Yeah, that's a nice one. Doesn't look like they had the extra land, though. So at least there's that. See, if we'd played this at a different time, we'd actually know what to name. We don't know what to name right now. I may decide not to play it for that reason. But we are going to attack here. Pop quiz. So they can choose just to put the Phoenix directly on the battlefield. So see you later, Pillar Drop Rescuer. Yeah, I think I'm probably playing this as a 4/4 and passing. I mean, you know, I'll play this at some point, I'm sure, but at this current spot in the game, I can afford to wait. They're getting close to Bookworm mana. Oh, or that, which is very bad for us. God, I love the deck they're playing. All right, so we're gonna Pilgrim, grab a Plains, play our Silencer, and what the heck am I gonna name? There's so many cards that they could have. Let's go with Bookworm, I guess. They have 2 Retriever Phoenixes? My God. Well, we're going to need to find our Mascot exhibition, which lots of cards in our deck can grab is the good news. But we're going to need them if we're going to have a chance here. And every turn we don't get them, things are looking even sketchier. All right, there we go. So let's attack with Silver Quill and see what happens. I wonder if they have a Bookworm. So let's play our Professor. Two Retriever Phoenixes probably just trumps Mascot Exhibition, but, you know, we'll try. Oh god, they have counter magic. It hurts the soul. Yeah. Divide by freaking 0. So good. So they get to bounce this to my hand and learn. Attack us for 6. Now they can hit us for 8. These first few games have not exactly gone the way I envisioned. So we're going to take 8. Yeah, that means we're dead. Exhibition only makes 1 flyer, so... 2 Retriever Phoenixes, man. I think I could have beaten 1, but 2 of them? This is not a good hand. We only have our white mana. Can't keep it. This one is much better. Don't have anything till turn 3, which isn't great. I mean, we could study break just to do it. Right now, I don't really see a reason to do it. I guess if they do something to make this thing's power go up, it might be worth doing. You know, basically prevent 2 damage. Quandrix Pledge Mage can grow in hurry. Do I study break? I mean, this turn I'm going to play the Pilgrim. Yeah, I mean, there's not really any value to be had. I mean, it's sort of like cycling it to draw a card. I don't really think I want to do that. Let's play our Pilgrim. So next turn they may be hitting us for like 5. Agonizing Remorse plus Study Break isn't terrible next turn. Maybe they won't do anything. There's a very good chance they have a spell, but at the same time, it's like, I was tapped out. Why would you not... Why would you wait until I attack you to cast a spell? So, I'm going to attack. Nice. So the spell they might have is potentially a counter spell. So maybe I'm just supposed to use Agonizing Remorse here, get a feel for what they have going on, and then Study Break at the end of their turn. Yeah, I think that works. Not at the end of their turn. I'd probably do it during their turn. Let's see what they have. They maybe be about to do something in response. Yeah, counterspell. Works for me. I mean, it probably means they have something even scarier in their hand, unfortunately. But, I can live with it. Now using Study Break to tap their stuff makes plenty of sense, I think. So, we do already have enough lands to play Mascot Exhibition. This turn I'm going to play Spectre. I don't have red mana yet. So I could grab Environmental Sciences. But basically I'm going to play Spectre this turn. So what am I going to do with my turn after that? Is kind of the question. Like, I think... I think maybe we just got to grab the exhibition. Yeah. Because we don't know that we're going to draw more learn. There's the Professor of Zoomancy. Very nice card. Silver Quill can trade for both of these, which is interesting. I think I like that. What are we gonna name? Ether Helix, Professor of Zoomancy. Just go with that. Okay, so I'd say there's a fairly good chance they have some sort of trick here. Or just a spell. Like, a spell really makes things way better for them. I think we just block Professor. Okay, square up. Not a card I recommend playing, but it works pretty well for them here. It mostly doesn't give you a big enough stats boost to be worth the card, but it lined up perfectly there, obviously. Ooh, Biomathematician. It's a nice one. Yeah, I mean, we've run into the same problem every game, basically, where it just seems like our opponents have been able to go a lot wider than us, a lot more quickly, before we can really get ourselves sorted out. And it has not been good. I think I'm going to play Spectre because maybe in the aftermath of Mascot Exhibition, I can start using its ability to get our life in a better spot. But yeah, I mean, shifting something's base power and toughness to 4/4 is too specific. Like, they basically paid 2 for +0, for +1/+0 there, +0/+1. And that's the problem the card has. It can get kind of funny with the fractals, but that's pretty much it. That's the only place where it has, like, significant value. So they have another spell, although... No, I guess they wouldn't attack with Symmetry Sage. Why would they? I'm gonna hope this works the way I want it to. But I kind of doubt it will. Okay, maybe it will. All right. Exhibition does a pretty good job of us getting our shields up. Kind of have to hope they whiff on their draw, though, to be really happy. We finally draw our red card, by the way, and have no red mana. Like, if they drew an instant or sorcery here, we're pretty much dead, I think. They have 3 triggers, so yeah. So this can actually get back the, the Mascot Exhibition, and that's when things will get really silly. But if we're going to do it, we're going to need environmental sciences. Gaining life right now is pretty appealing as well. Feels good. So good. So, it's player combat professor. Gonna do that. An attack. Yeah. We've got symbology and combat professors in play. All right, so this time, I mean, holding on to the Spectre to use its life drain effect, I think is kind of important. So I think I'd rather send in the Inkling. Yeah. So then we're going to cast Past Caller, which resolves. And we're going to grab Mascot Exhibition. See, this is what I envisioned with this deck. Will it get us there? Maybe. Opponent is still like 2 spells away. Like 2 triggers would be bad for us. Really bad. We do have a bunch of flyers, so that part's good. I mean, we have 10, basically 11 damage in the air right now. I could have returned like a creature or Study Break, I guess. Maybe that's better because Study Break would have really allowed me to attack effectively. So this probably means they have a spell, if I had to guess. All right. You're going to block there. You're going to block here. You're going to block there. So I guess I'm going to try to block with this. If they have a spell, that's obviously not going to work out super well. I guess I'd rather lose this if I'm going to do that. This is more likely to die, and then we take 2. Could have like another square up to do 5 here, but I don't know that that's going to be enough. See what they got. Obviously, we get to untap and cast Mascot Exhibition again, so it's not a complete disaster in most scenarios. Like, I'm going to kill a bunch of stuff here. The one thing that might survive, the most likely thing to survive is the Pledge Mage. I guess the Professor of Zoomancy might as well. Too bad I don't have another one of these. You can loop them, which is fun. Bury Books, yeah. So these 2 are going to die. This is going to die. I think... What are you bouncing? You're bouncing the Spirit. But that's going to die. You do get to put a counter somewhere. I guess they could put the counter on Symmetry Sage, in which case my Spirit dies and their thing doesn't. Yeah. I mean... Sure. I wonder what I was supposed to do there. Block less, probably. I think that's the answer. So we've got 9 mana here. Send in Combat Professor. Cast Mascot Exhibition. Does feel like Study Break was the better pickup there because it could have set up a situation where we probably barely have to block and just swing back for lethal. But, you know, what are you going to do? 4, 7, 8, 9... Okay. Combat Professor number 2. I'm going to send in 1 Combat Professor and 1 Inkling. We're 1 mana shy of being able to use this ability. So they could trade for the Inkling if they want to, but I'm not too upset if that's what they do here. Then we throw in a Campus Guide, and then I think next turn we should be able to do lethal. I mean, they're going to have to do something pretty impressive to keep that from happening. Yeah, so they go to 6. They have no flyers now. We play a Campus Guide. We do not put a land on top of our library. We don't need one of those right now. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. This can drain 2. We have 3 flying attackers. They're going to come in for another attack. Okay. Well, I think basically we're okay with losing everything that isn't our flyers. I kind of feel like I need to block with 1 flyer to feel best about this. So I guess it's going to be a Combat Professor. Okay, we go to 4. Are you finally dead? I think you are. That one took a while. And 2 Mascot exhibitions, but in the end it was enough. If I had a swap, it'd be an easy keep because I'd be able to grab Environmental Sciences, but... Alright, this is better. It's not amazing. Guess I'm going to send back Scroll Wielder just because we don't currently have the mana for it. I could have sent back the Remorse, but Early Disruption seems reasonable. Fracture. Most of these cards are not very good. I guess Reflective Golem is the answer, though. It's a creature. It can do some silly things. Do we have any targets for Fracture in our whole deck? Nice. The true Defiant Strike. I probably still would have hit the Golem there. Alright, we do draw a creature. Alright, Combat Professor time. So at some point they may be able to kill my Silver Quill Apprentice if its power gets to 4 or greater and they have 4 mana up. Yeah, for that reason, we definitely want to spread the love with our Combat Professors. We do not want to buff one creature up to 4 power. We'll go with 2 3s. They could have a spell, but the best they're going to be able to do, most likely, is trade with Silver Quill, so it's not that alarming. Depends what the spell is, I guess. Yeah, they must have one. Oh, yeah, I guess that works okay. We still trade 1 for 1. I mean, we trade for Defend the Campus, so it's not too sad. Even if we brick on a draw here, at least we have Lorehold Campus. I really don't think we have a target for this in our whole deck, unless there's something I'm not thinking about. Yeah, that's going to make that pretty big for a turn. Nice. So, okay. We will Guiding Voice, a Combat Professor. Expanded Anatomy is pretty great. I think that's probably where I'm going to go in this situation. Just make one of them bigger and better. I guess the one that's already... Well, they're going to have... They're both going to have Vigilance anyway, so it doesn't really matter. So we attack for 9. All right, we finally had a game that was easy. We haven't really had one of those. The others have all taken some work and some shenanigans just to walk away without losing. Man, we've had some pretty ugly openers lately. So I can grab a Plains, but that still doesn't let me cast the other 2 cards in my hand. So it's not so good. All right, this is much, much better. I think we're going to put the tap land back. I mean, maybe not. It's basically better than our mountain since we don't have a 1-drop anyway, so... Yeah, we'll put back the mountain. Campus Guide. I think we probably do Hunt for Specimens here. And grab a Spirit Summoning. Yeah. I guess I could grab Environmental Sciences just because we don't have, you know, that many lands, and we have a Rise of Extus in our hand. So we're definitely going to block this. I mean, if it's a trade, we come out way ahead. So I am okay with it. I think I'm going to set up another trade where we come out way ahead with our Pilgrim here, rather than play Spirit Summoning. This also lets us hit another land drop. Definitely ended up more on the controlling end, especially for like a base black-white deck in this format. Because, like, yeah, we just like try to set up good trades and get to Mascot Exhibition mostly. I guess that last game we felt a little more aggressive. All right, well, making them use this is great because it learns and it's already a good card anyway. But making them use it on the Pilgrim feels pretty good to me overall. So now we can name Environmental Sciences with Silver Quill Silencer. which is pretty fun. And we'll also cast Guiding Voice. 4, 5, 6. I do still have one more card with Learn, so I'm probably going to grab Expanded Anatomy here. So if they cast Environmental Sciences, they lose 3 life and I draw a card. They can still cast it. It's not quite Meddling Mage, but that does really dampen the... Oh, yeah. Feels pretty good for me. Yeah, that's spicy. They animate a land. Okay. I think I'm going to go with Combat Professor. Yeah. So play Combat Professor, buff this to 5, attack with it. Probably Rise of Extus something next turn and grab our big lesson. Something's going to die here, I think. In which case, I may not Rise of Extus. They may be about to cast their own Rise of Extus, in fact. But that means they're not adding to the board this turn. And yeah, I don't really want to mess with any of what they have. So I could play Pillar Drop Rescuer and get back to Pilgrim. But I feel like just casting Expanded Anatomy and Spirit Summoning is pretty good. Ooh, Teachings of the Archaics is sweet. So it's Divination. Yeah, luckily we're going to play a bunch of cards here, so it's just going to be Divination, but, you know, free Divination is pretty spicy. Like, that you just grab out of your sideboard like that. Alright, so... yeah, let's Expanded Anatomy. Make sure it's not tapping my mana in a dumb way. It's not. Attack them with Silver Quill. We will still have one more card in hand than they do, so they're going to get to the Divination side of things. Although I guess they're going to draw, so not actually true. Would be kind of funny if they kill our Silencer and we get to name something else. We have to get it back. Oh, they exiled it. We do get to draw, though. Okay. I'm still not really loving the idea of Rise of Extus right now. It just isn't super good. We're just going to play another Combat Professor. Do this whole thing. It's too bad they exiled it and I couldn't get it back with the Rescuer and name Teachings of the Archaics, but, you know, what are you going to do? Like, you know, if I cast Rise of Extus, it does mean the next turn I can cast my, Mascot Exhibition, and we may reach a point where that's what we want to do. I'm not really there yet. Yeah, they're going to be able to cast Teachings of the Archaic here, I would think. Still just as a divination, but That's pretty good. Yep. Wonder if they have a trick. Hope not. Kind of seems like they might, though, huh? Well, if they do, I'd rather trade this for it. They do not. Oh, hello. It's at the beginning of my upkeep, unfortunately, but it is still quite good here. Does make casting Rise of Extus now a little more interesting, but next upkeep it's going to let us cast one of these, so that's pretty good too. Attack for 3. Play Radiant Scroll Wielder. They kind of have to kill it, because the value it's going to give us is going to be kind of insane. Like, no matter which of these we cast, we are just going to take it this time. I don't have anything I really feel like risking. I think they're going to kill the poor Scroll Wielder. Hope they don't, though, because it'd be fun to go off with it. Alright, it does look like they're going to let us, for a turn at least. Man, I guess if we hit Guiding Voice, we can just grab Mascot Exhibition and cast it, because we have enough mana. It's random. Oh, no, yeah, random. We do hit Guiding Voice, and there's also a Lash of Malice, which is useful. Okay, so Guiding Voice, do that. Grab Mascot Exhibition. That's crazy. I love, this is what's so great about this format, is the various insane things you can do. So yeah, we're just going to cast Mascot Exhibition. Now, it might possibly be what gets hit next turn, in which case we would just cast it again. The other options are, of course, pretty good as well. You do have the Fractal Summoning, but a big creature is something we could deal with Rise of Extus fairly easily. Alright, I mean, I'm going to trade the 3-2 for that, or for something in their hand, whatever it is that ended up happening. Just feel like we have enough value that trades are just, you know, this was one card. And we just traded a third of it for like 75% of another card. I mean, those are the trades we want. Alright, so they're going to kill the Inkling Summoning. But that's another trade going in our direction. What else you got? They're doing something with their graveyard. What will it be? I noticed that I've had my record up this whole time, and it says I've drafted 412 times. That's interesting. Ooh, Reconstruct History. That's pretty spicy. It's hard to get that card to work correctly, but they just got 3 cards back with it, and that's no joke. They can't really... I guess they can play Campus Guide to get another body on the table, yeah. That's a thing. This time we hit Spirit Summoning. Oh, hello. So 479. Can we kill them? We have 3 blockers to get out of the way. Lash of Malice can get rid of 1. Study Break gets rid of 2, and then Rise of Exodus. We don't quite have enough mana to cast all of that. So the answer is no. But I do think we cast Lash of Malice here. I don't think we use our Study Break. Instead, I think we do this. Swing with both of those. They could triple block the 4/4 to kill it. Yeah, and they will. And we will end our turn. So they're going to use Rise of Exodus on something. I would guess Scroll Wielder before it lets us cast Mascot Exhibition again. But it's already kind of done what it needed to do, which was get back a Guiding Voice and a Spirit. I mean, that's been huge. If they cast Rise of Exodus, it takes up their whole turn. And then we'll Study Break at the end of their turn and swing for lethal. I guess we won't quite have lethal. We'll hit them for 7. I don't think we have anything on our sideboard that lets us do 1 more damage because our Anatomy's in the graveyard. Interesting. Oh, that makes sense. You can hit Mascot Exhibition, so it makes sense. Kind of didn't think about it myself, but I still have a bunch of free spells in my graveyard. Well, 2. But they're both pretty good. Alright, so let's Study Break. Yeah. So they do that. My Study Break has Lifelink. Look out. Yeah, Spirit Summoning. Alright, so we're going to Lash of Malice this. We don't have anything to get back with Pillar Drop, which... Oh, yeah, we do. Okay. So then we're going to attack them for 2. 6, 7. I think playing Pillar Drop Campus Guide is probably slightly better than playing Spirit Summoning. We've had this Rise of Exodus the whole game. I think it'll eventually end up doing something big. Next turn, obviously, we're getting Expanded Anatomy or Study Break with our Scroll Wielder, if it's alive. Interesting. So there's a reason they didn't tap more mana. I'm not 100% sure what that reason is. I'm going to try to cast Expanded Anatomy on Pillar Drop Rescuer. Okay. Alright, well, we'll just Rise of Exodus this thing. And then exile their very full graveyard. Ooh, they're not going to let us kill him, though. I see. Yeah, maybe I got a little ahead of myself with that Rise of Exodus. Of course, I can cast it again. So, so there is that. Smart of them not to bounce. Oh, well, it was cheaper to cast Burying Books once I attacked. They couldn't cast it until I attacked anyway. I guess we do have Campus Guide, by the way, when we ran into that card that destroys the black-white card that can destroy artifacts, enchantments, or planeswalkers. That was... There was something it could be dealt with. I pretty much win no matter which of these we hit. I think they're going to try to cast Reconstruct History again. Right? It's got to be what they're doing. It's very hard to get that card to work well. Yeah, they have more than one of them, though. And they can kill Campus Guide. It just doesn't really matter. Well, Radiant Scroll Wielder carried this one. I mean, there was a Mascot exhibition in the mix, but, you know. All right, we have a winning record now. Can we do better? Yeah, pretty good hand. Might be one where we want to just try to play Shale early and see if they can kill it, because if they can't, we just start putting counters on everything. Yeah, so we're gonna excuse me, we're gonna kill that. And yeah, we're gonna play Shale. There's a decent chance they have an answer, but if they don't, you know, putting a counter on something every turn is big. Okay, they don't have an answer. One of the great things about this is it also has Vigilance, so I can get in for one. I think we're going to play the Pilgrim, so we hit a land drop. It does mean, you know, this is going to be only a 3/2 that can't block Eager First Year effectively, but hitting a land drop definitely matters. And, you know, turning it into a 3/2. While it does mean it can't block that effectively, you know. Alright, so it's dead. But I think we're pretty okay with the outcome. I think I'd attack if I were them, yeah. Okay. So, we will attack them. I think we'll play Spectre here. Yeah. They're gonna grab... What are they gonna grab? Spirit Summoning. Makes sense. They can't cast it right now, though, actually, so that's good. They have... Okay. Well, we're taking 4. Ooh, Combat Professor. Was thinking I'd play both of these, but I think now we play Combat Professor. Yeah, I think we attack with... Do I attack with both? It's not a terrible plan. I mean, if they take it, we can get pretty close to breaking through with Study Break. They don't take it, which I didn't think it was ultra likely they would, but... Yeah, this thing is definitely doing its job. Okay. Well... I think we're going to attack for 5 here. Do I really want to hit a 6th land drop? I don't think we're that desperate to do it. I think we'll just play the 2 better creatures here. And then try to win with Study Break next turn. Man, I was hoping they wouldn't have any blockers, but doesn't look like we'll be that lucky. Okay. I think... Do I want to play my Professor first? I don't think there's anything... I mean, I'm going to, but... I don't think we have any options that are that much better. No. Study Break it is. What? Yeah, they still... I mean, Expanded Anatomy can get us close, but because they have a flyer, it doesn't really matter. I guess it is what I'll grab. I can give 2 things Vigilance. Is that just going to be... better? Study Break lets me tap 2 things. I can tap the flyer, so they have to take 4. Then they can block 2 of these. So yeah, they're not going to quite be dead. So let's do Anatomy. I think we need to gain life. And a lot of it. So I do think... Yeah, we'll attack with those 2. Yeah, gaining the life here is big. They have to block one of them or die, so... something's getting blocked. Yeah, we definitely kill Combat Professor. Okay, like that. Nice. Yeah, I'm glad I played the Professor first, because I was like, do I have something better? And I did. For that particular turn. All right, looks solid enough. Well, very glad I can just kill that right away, because it gets out of hand in a hurry. Gets a bunch of counters. Do I want to put a mountain on top? I mean, the awkward thing about that is I don't have anything to do next turn. I guess Study Break's okay. I guess we're going to grab our mountain. Study Break could grab us Environmental Sciences, but I think putting mountain on top is fine. Pest Summoning. That's one we would have liked. We passed a couple of them. We are going to pass. Pests are quite good against Campus Guide. And spot removal, too. I think we're going to go ahead and Study Break here. It's not the most exciting Study Break ever, but I can grab Spirit Summoning to have something to do this turn, because, I mean, we may draw something better, But right now, we don't have anything better. We did draw something, and it's pretty good. Which do I want to play more? I think we're going to go with Pledge Mage. They both die to all the same things, and if I can get this down ahead of spells, it's going to be better. Yeah. Eliminate would have killed either. Nice. That does give us something, well, very much worth killing. And that's what we'll do. Attack for 2. So one more land and we can play this and get back Onslaught or Lash or Study Break. Not as exciting as when we got back our Mascot exhibition earlier, but not bad. Double Bayou Groff, okay. I think we play Past Caller. It can trade for the Groff and gets us back a removal spell. Seems pretty good. And yeah, I do think we want the Onslaught. I could grab Study Break. But I think, you know, and get Mascot Exhibition up and running, but I think just grabbing removal is pretty good here. Yeah, I don't love that. Are we in chump block territory? We're close. I'm going to take 6. I think holding onto our board presence is pretty useful. Alright, so let's do this again. Attack them for 2. If I draw land, I'd be able to play like Spectre and Summoning. The campus guide has been slain. Oh, hello. What do we have in our graveyard? All kinds of good stuff. Yeah, let's play our Scroll Wielder. Hopefully they're out of removal. They have used a fair bit of it. Dang. No such luck. Man, really needed to draw 7 lands, so double spelling would have been more possible, but what are you going to do? I think we may be finished at 5 wins. We'll see. It's not impossible for us to come back still. But if they drew more and like another high-quality card here, it's going to be rough. Could just kill us with a trick. No, that doesn't worry me a ton. Okay, well, now we can't double spell either, but Spectre of the Fens has the capability to get us back in this game all on its own. We kind of need them to whiff on a draw here, but surely they will, right? Well, it's not quite enough now because we can gain life, but they played a huge 5/5, so it doesn't really matter. However, let's deploy some combat professors. Could be worse. But yeah, we have to block every single thing. So... Can it please draw a land? They did. Thank God. Okay. 4, 7, 8. So I can play Leech Fanatic and leave this ability up this time. And that is interesting in terms of trying to swing the game. They do have a Scry at the end of our turn, which will decrease their chances of things going wrong for them. We're going to attack with both. I think we really need to inflict as much damage as possible. So there's a Scry. Do they leave it on top? Put it on the bottom. They put it on the bottom. So if they leave it on top, we know for basically a fact that, that they can do well here. Okay, having to do it the way they're doing it right now is good news for us. Because they did put it on top, but they had to spend 4 mana now. So, yeah, Leech Fanatic is gonna die. We're gonna go up to 3. Remorse. So, we do know they, like, wanted the card that's in their hand, whatever it is. So I think... Gonna attack with both again. The risks are real. Nice. So we get rid of a real card. It's not one that was really going to threaten us this turn, but it is a real card. If they don't draw a removal, we're actually going to win this game. Or a flyer. Because we block with Combat Professor, drain them for 2, and then drain them for 2 again on our turn. Removal gets us. That's it. Mostly. Like I said, them playing a flyer would be pretty bad. I guess that doesn't really matter either, because we can just drain 4. Okay. Wow, we got out of that one. Woo! That's one of the things that's so fun about this format is, you know, stabilizing from being really far behind is actually a thing. Not so much in, like, Phyrexia Albleby 1 or even Dominaria United, like, had slower decks. But you still had to not get super far behind on the board, you know, so... Alright, so we're going for 7 wins. I mean, you know, if you get Mascot Exhibition and a bunch of cards with Learn, you should probably expect as much. Okay, looks pretty good. Could be a hand where we have to grab Environmental Sciences because we've only got 2 lands. Okay, got a little better. And, you know, there are lots of hands where you grab it, but I meant grab it early. I think I'm just going to play the Silencer. I don't really know what to name, but the fact is it's a 2-mana 3/2, and if they continue to not play anything, it's going to be a real beating, especially with Guiding Voice to back it up, so might be getting countered anyway. Let's name Pop Quiz. Okay. Darn. I should have named the other Learn card. The one I didn't name. Okay. Guiding Voice. What do we want? mean, Sciences isn't terrible. I can also play a land and expanded... Oh, no, I can't. We're going to want red mana at some point, I think. So I think we'll grab our own Sciences. Then we will attack them for 4. Then we will hunt for specimens. This time... Exhibition is pretty tempting. We're a ways away from it, though. Let's go with Anatomy. Yeah, that's no fun. We will take 5. Yeah, so let's use Onslaught here. Drop him to 17. So this turn, grabbing a mountain might be good because we can, you know, get back our Mage Hunter's Onslaught. All right, some ramp is happening. Not too surprising in blue-green. Combat Professor. Yeah, so... we are going to cast Sciences, grab a mountain. Play that mountain. Play our Pilgrim. Grab a Plains. And pass. Harmonize, that's a sweet one. No attacks is kind of interesting to me. So I think we try to play Pass Collar. Could get countered. But playing the Professor doesn't do that much. Maybe it does. You know, if I play the Professor, I can also leave up Study Break and grab Mascot Exhibition. Yeah, I can live with that. That's a good reason to do it. Combat Professor looks like it might go down here. Yeah, Study Break does not help me prevent this from happening. However, it does keep us from taking some damage. Grabs our Exhibition while they're tapped out. We will attack them for 3. Cast Exhibition. We can get it back again. It's a little slow. We may want to be a little more aggressive than that. So they're probably killing something here. Man, all the mage duels. Yeah, we'll take 3. Okay. Ooh. Okay, so now I can play Anatomy and Scroll Weaver here. And Scroll Weaver... I mean, I guess there's a bunch of stuff that might get cast that is less awesome, but they're all pretty real. The thing about doing it this way is I can also cast Anatomy, like I said, which enables us, you know, pretty good attack in the air here, because I'd probably put the counters on the Inkling. I could play Pass Collar, grab Exhibition, and just do it again, but... Which, you know, I'd love to do. And we might still do it. But... I guess I could also play Pledge Mage if I want to add two bodies to the board. That doesn't seem bad, actually. Okay, so let's attack them just for 2 in the air. Play Pledge Mage. Play Scroll Wielder. Kind of have to kill it, giving us... It's not free in terms of mana, but it, like, you know, draws us a spell every turn. It's like kind of like Impulse Draw from your graveyard, because you have to cast it that turn, but, you know. Alright, Pest Token. Take one for the team. Yeah. They haven't hit, like, their big ramp payoff, and they're probably going to at some point, so killing them soon would probably be good. Interesting. So we get Mage Hunter's Onslaught. We also draw a Rise of Extus. But we can cast Onslaught and Anatomy, which can almost give us lethal here. 2, 4, 7, 9, 11. It would give us lethal. The question is whether or not they can do something about it. Let's find out. Looks like they can probably do something about it. Okay. Yeah, so they counter that. We do have another one. Oh, it's in play. No, that was a trigger. I see. I guess I'm actually going to buff Lorehold Pledge Mage here. Giving it Vigilance and the fact that it has First Strike is pretty spicy. Can they respond to that too? That would be bad. Alright. It's only counter magic. I can live with it. So hit them for 6. Then we're gonna have to do some ugly blocks on our turn. So maybe I only want to hit them for 4, so I don't have to block with Scroll Wielder, who has the ability to get us out of this. Yeah, just Pledge Mage will attack. Yeah. Drop him to 8. It's sad that we were so close to lethal, but our opponent had 2 counter spells. Brutal. Whatever we get to recast, I mean, Study Break will allow us to get through... I mean, I guess Environmental Sciences is kind of a bummer. But, the things that learn can get us things. But even Sciences isn't terrible. We don't have to cast it if we don't want to. Alright, so... I'm only going to block the really big one. It's not that much bigger, I guess. But you know what I mean. Let's block that one. Can they sneak lethal in somehow? It's possible. You go to 5. They have put us under enough pressure that trying to cast these 6 mana things has been hard. Okay. What do we hit? We hit Mascot Exhibition. So the question is whether they can counter it. I say, let's find out. Do you really have a 3rd counterspell? My god. So, I'm going to have to block both of these. Actually, I have to block 3 things this turn. I guess we'll get in for 2. What a bummer. Yeah, we're dead. All right, so 6 and 3, not bad. Bit of a bummer to lose there late to all that counter magic, but it can happen.